Lovely.
And we're in.
We are on.
Right, Bassline. Do you want to talk about this track? And like?
Yeah. So we'll start this. We're going to go through the bass line of our new free track that we did a mix. It's RBA, no alternative. We've done an up-to-date driving techno version of it. It was a track that I used to play in the early 2000s, come out in the early 2000s, really early 2000s, 2001, around that time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do a Octagon Fish and give you all the out on this label and that label. And, I can't remember what label it was out on and stuff and all that. But if you just type in RBA no alternative, the original mixes
come something.
up. Yeah, they'll be on. It's on SoundCloud and Spotify and all that. Yeah. Anyway, it was a track I used to play on vinyl all the time. Loved it. It was obviously within the trancey era. It was about lovely. Had a lovely sort of trancey riff, really like emotional and melodic and stuff. So we wanted to try and just update that into a driving techno track. It's suited it well. It's got a really driving riff. It's got a offbeat bass line.
Yeah.
So obviously we can have a look at offbeat bass line stuff within the track. So yeah. So
before we say that, it's also out for free.
Yeah, it's a free download. Yeah, on SoundCloud. Yeah, so go and download it free, play it, do whatever you want with it.
Lovely.
You know, play with yourself to it. Do whatever you feel like doing. So what we're going to do is we'll cut this up into sections of a video. So we'll do bassline. So this is the bassline. What we did for our free download of RBA No Alternative, which is a track from the early 2000s. We've revamped it for as a modern driving techno track, and we're going to go through the bass line on it, of how we recreated it, and the sounds we used, the processing, the MIDI programming, all that type of stuff. So hope you enjoy. Yeah.
Is that over to me?
Over to you, Chris.
Right,
I'll carry on if you want.
No, it's all right.
You've got the mouse.
I didn't get where we were cut over. Yeah. Right, so yeah, basically we've got it's quite a standard techno driving style bass line where it's everything on the 8th note.
16th.
Is it 16th?
Yeah. So it's a 16 stabs in it.
I don't know. It's these where they're tiny, and this is every beat. So it's on like one. If that's one beat, that's one beat. That's a half. That's a quarter. So every quarter, I don't know. It's these. Copy what's on the screen. we're not.
Look, it's in 16th. It's in 16th grid, so you've got one on every grid. So it's in 16th. Yeah. And it's the last 3 16ths. Although you can, in this section, you can fill that. That in and just put it on every 16th, and then you can play with your side chaining to let a little bit of that through if you want.
You can. Not penis.
Yeah, you can side chain that through.
So what you can do is on these, see the velocity here, you can have these like going something like that, where it's going up and down, or you could even have it going something like this, and you have this on every single sort of section. We've not done it here. We've used
that gives it that sort of, because the velocity note hits lower, it gives like the idea of a pump, but we just recreate that in the side chain. So if you just solo that bass and play it so they can hear it, you can hear the bounce of that, but that's coming from the side chain. If you just get the side chain up for them. We've just got a normal, I think it's on the group in it. Look, we've got a really, so the side chain, we've cut this. So just the very lows have been completely cut out. So there's no lows hit with a kick drum. I know you can't see where pointing, but there's no lows hit there from them low frequencies up to 126 hertz. And then all the mid stuff, that's a bit more of a gradual slope to get that the pump we wanted. You can. That's just a little bit more of a split. Side chain on the frequencies, but you can just normal.
I think the Shaper Box cable guys, they've just done a video on this actually, through this technique. So, So if you want to know more about it, go check that out.
Go check that. So we've just got that on our rolling standard 16th techno bassline. If you just draw that in on the 16ths, put a Shaper Box in or any side chain, and play with that, you'll get that pump, and you can pump it as much as you want, or at least you can have it driving or pumping as much as you want. As
sometimes you might use the velocity for like using it to like trigger the filter inside the synth. So you could get that a similar pumping sound from that, or a different style. But you'd always want to have a bit of side change to cut out the
that just
the
cuts
lows.
the frequencies to stop from messing with your kick.
Yeah.
Now on this one we've actually got two basses, because we have got a bit more of a traditional just offbeat bass. So this is just hitting on, if you just get that up. So we've actually got two. So we've got that driving techno, just to give it that little bit of a drive forward.
This is just the driving one, the rolling one, and then added in this, just giving it that pumping sound.
Yeah. So you hear that bit of a underneath, but you also hear the offbeat of the track, which is, the offbeat was it was an offbeat track anyway, because it was like a trancey thing at about 143. Obviously we've come down to 135 for a modern techno feel. So but we've kept that offbeat, but then obviously it can seem a little bit slower, so we've put that 16th unlayered underneath to drive the track, because it's at a lower tempo by about 10 BPM.
I can't remember what we did, but or how it came about. Well, it's like we've either had both of those in at the start, and then we've just taken one out, the gritty off bass, because it's interfering with the main riff. So it comes out with the riff, and then it comes back in when it just when the main synth riff's going. There's a lot of the frequencies is full, and just that driving bass does it gives it more like pumping.
But then when you lose the synth, then we've added that offbeat back in to really sort of pump it as an offbeat. So you can see on the track it, if we show you there, if I just if I just get the drums on, just so we've got something to play. So if we play it,
second one down.
So if we just get these on, so there, that bounces back in on this section.
It's like it's giving it an extra bit of energy, isn't it?
Yes, but that's where, from that, if I just play it again, not soloed, we've got the riff under this part. The synth's gone, and it really feels that that bouncy beat, offbeat, fills the place where the synth's missing. But obviously we don't need it on here, because you don't hear it, and it was just a bit clashy. So that is just literally, look, on the 8th. So that's, well, it's the grid's in 16s, but so it's hitting on every 8th, and that's just so if we just play that on its own with the kick, if we just play that,
it's
just a typical kick and offbeat. And then obviously if we add our, and that's just programmed in, if we add our driving bass in, just adds that sort of driving rumble underneath. So it's driving along even more.
What have we got on the group channel there?
So that's, well, so I'll come to that in a minute. So just to finish off this section, obviously so that's our bass, and that's hitting, and we've got, obviously we've took out, if you can see there, we've taken out a lot of the sub in that, because obviously the sub is in on that channel, but we've taken a lot of the highs off on that, so we've mixed them together within the sound, so they work together. And then we have a group, and they run through that group with got some filter shaper and the Pro EQ4 on them, running through the track. So if we look at the group, so
we're just taking off the side. This is more for mixing. So we're just taking off the sides.
That's just a side EQ, so it's letting it in, but we're just cutting all the subs from the side. At 151.95 hertz, if you want to get that specific.
And that's just for when you're coming on to playing out on big systems. Sometimes they sum the sub, and when it comes to the sub end, they might cancel out. So you kind of want it always to be in mono.
Because that's just like putting your bass in mono, but you've also, it's a trick in it, instead of just mono in your bass,
your entire thing.
yeah, your entire bass. We've got frequencies that are at the top end that still sit nice in the width, in the stereo field. But with that, we've just made sure that all our sub is in the middle, and not the nice bits of the timbres of the bass at the sides. Well, yeah, I went to. I've got to get some use out of me. All that money I paid for a fucking music production degree. I've got to get some money out of it.
Know what 16th or 18th is. I'm just like, it's the little squares.
Yeah. I only know me fractions from. I never learned them from school. Me fractions. I learnt me fractions on the streets. If you know what I mean.
On MIDI.
No, on the streets. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I
illegally learnt my fractions. That's how I learnt them illegally. So they're the two basses, and like you say, obviously it was a creative decision within the mix, because obviously you can see in the track as we're scrolling through here, we've got. Look, the kick and the off as it's sort of going through, just nice and starting. So we've got that in with the vocal. I'll just put the vocal in. So we've got coming up on a filter. Yeah, built. You know what I mean? And that's sort of going. You know, if we have all the other drums in, and look, we're building up the track and stuff. You can see. Got the off and the driving bass line.
I think we definitely came to this point. I think this is probably what happened is we got to this point, and when it kicked in with it, because we sometimes like to do that early sort of like mini breakdown with just quite a dry sub, and I mean we probably got to that and gone. Oh, it doesn't have enough. Stuff
enough oomph. Yeah, so that's it.
We've had enough beat.
Yeah. We're just bringing like obviously little bits of. You know the track. We've got the track playing and building up to this main drop, where the synth comes in. So, that being said, we can move now onto the actual synth. So that was the bass line, the programming, and all that stuff. Yeah. Now we can actually move on to the synth.
Well, you did the MIDI for this.
Let
me just zoom in a bit.
Yeah.
So I do like how on this track we've got some of the main leads in the breakdown, but we never really fully reveal it. And then we've got this little kind of like other sort of addition to the synth going on in the breakdown. Yeah,
because within that, with the synth, what we found with this track on the original, the filtered synth on the break is really sort of powerful and got a lot of emotion and a lot of that filtered down, trancey, beautiful, you know, epic emotion type of feel with it. And you can't always get that with, and recreate that with just getting your synth line that you kick in with and just filtering it down. Yeah. Sometimes you have to add other stuff. So like with this, I mean, we wrote, again, it's just a classic trance sort of on off type of a
just like a stepped up kind
it's just just step with the key, do that type of pattern on the 16ths again. Obviously we've not wrote this this MIDI, it's from the original because we were doing a bootleg of the original, so we've just had a look and copied what it was. So I'll just play a bit of the synth. Which one should we play where they'll hear it fully? I'll just play one of the layers here. So
love that little bass change.
Yeah, so it's just da, 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 and then the top line of it's moving about, classic trance sort of way.
Yeah.
So it's lovely, and then so on this we've actually got it.
It's a bit more like an undercurrent. Isn't
really
it? Like
undercurrent,
dark.
yeah. But if I play that whole these three sections that are.
We've got the pluck there.
Yeah, so if you look, so this is the kicking part.
The drop.
Drop, that's the drop where it comes in. We've actually froze one of the MIDI synths there with a track on. I'll just open some of these. Look, you can see. So we've got three that play are the main synth, and then 3 on the break. But 2 of these then come in and pick up.
Yeah.
As the riff goes on, we have a little pickup with this, which is like a little bit more of a. A little bit of a lighter pluck, and then this one comes in as well. A little bit more sort of thin, little mid-range sort of grit.
Each of these is doing a job as well.
Yeah.
Like you don't need two of the same sort of sound in when you're layering synths. So we've like the bottom one, the plucky one.
That plucky,
it's kind of like a weird, plucky, very plinky plonky, but also quite characterful.
Yeah, that's it. You're just looking for interesting character in the sound. So
they'll work together.
Yeah. So that's like the traditional saw washed out. That gives you all the atmosphere to the synth.
Loads of reverb.
Yeah, that's it. And then we've got this one we froze out. I don't know why we froze it, but we did.
Yeah, maybe just more like a lower down saw.
Yeah, that's that covering the
bass region.
Yeah, so we're added together.
That's
so
almost like the thickness of
if you take it away.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the top one?
And then the top one is
more thickness.
Just more, yeah. So it's literally.
So really, the top three are like all the bass, the reverb.
Yeah, the bass, the reverb,
the
the atmosphere, yeah.
And then the bottom two are like the
and then
that's the like a grit one that's standing out, like a dry one. Give it like an extra.
That just picks up the top end.
Oh, it's got like a phaser.
Yeah, we've got some phasing and flanging on it, yeah. And then we had the top one.
That pluck.
Got that nice little pluck.
Gives that interest.
But like I say, once it kicks in, we've got that little pluck in here and this gritty one, as well as this sub-bottom layer.
Yeah. So basically, we've got a little bit of thickness, and then as soon as it hits in, we've got all the thicker layers just coming in at once.
So you're getting that in the breakdown, and then when it kicks in, you're just getting these. So
show them the difference.
So here's the track. I'll just without the vocal. So here's that's in the break.
Yeah.
It'll switch now. So you can hear the difference now. So we couldn't with this synth, this really dirty synth that we wanted to kick in with. We couldn't create that really nice, emotional, epic. We couldn't create that feeling with that because you needed it to be like a nice.
Yeah, we needed
nice soft floaty.
Yeah.
And then when it kicks in to be tough. Yeah. So obviously it's all together.
You're creating that contrast.
Yeah. You're taking people's ear off that sound. So we'll give you the build up. You can really get that meat of it, yeah. And then we're sort of
especially with the kick and the side. I think the kick and the side chain give it that proper power.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's another thing we've done. So on this synth group, I'll just show you that we've got obviously like the auto filter and stuff. So we've got the shaper box on that as well, and we're quite
doing a massive
load of it. I mean, we have got the mix down a little bit. We've got it 73% up, but that is the whole sound. So if you listen. So that comes in.
Proper pumping.
It's really pumping. If we take the mix.
Yeah, but it loses the power.
It loses that power because.
With the kick as well, like that's what's going on.
Yeah. All this is happening where the kick is and don't necessarily want that, so.
Maybe the kick. Just see what it's
yeah, let's I'll solo the kick.
Next one up.
Yeah, that's drums. Well, I solo on, but it's just. So if I do that. Right, look, you can hear it.
And then stick that mix back up to 73. It's got that power to
Look at that. Yeah, look.
Yeah. That's what gives it. It's
so,
like a proper, like, a kick, quite a strong kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That note is
It loses it, doesn't it? As soon as you put that sound chain on it, it gives it all that power back.
Yeah, so here's without.
Yeah.
Clean it straight up and then obviously all together. Oh, with the bass and stuff. Now you've got that the rolling bass filling that gap.
That kick is probably one of my favourite
Yeah,
You've done.
it's a power kick,
Yeah.
and as well, obviously with the trance track being about 143 original BPM, 143 round that because it was an old trancey type thing. Obviously, coming down to 135, you're coming down. You've got to try and keep that energy within the track. You know what I mean? That's why again we went with that rolling bass line, and then obviously changed to the
you do things like add in like shakers and things.
Yeah.
And your drums as well. Just
just to try and
energy.
to drive it forward. You know what I mean? It comes in.
What's on that 26 serum?
26 serum.
Yeah, number this one here.
26 serum.
Yeah,
so
because it sounds like if you load up serum, it sounds like there's some like that's adding a load of character on the FX.
So let me just so that's 24, 5. I can't count. So 26 is this one.
Did you learn that on the street as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to FX, it sounds like there's the
flanger on it there. So
give it loads of like movement.
Yeah, movement and character.
Yeah, you turn it back on, it's huge. Especially there, what have we turned on there?
It might.
We might be doing automation.
Yeah, we are here on the macro. So we're automating the macro here, which is macro one, which is the filter.
Yeah.
So we've got a little resonance boost and dip along this. So along this synth, well, it's 26. Look, you can see this is moving about.
Yeah.
With that filter band just to sort
as
of.
As it goes to that next bit, it just gives it another bit of change.
It's just added. Look, we've got it there as well as it's coming up through this build up a little bit, and then obviously it wobbles about. That's just like you say. We tend to process. And make when we do our sims. It's like when you're processing a sound with compressors or EQs or something. It's a little bits of stuff add up.
Yeah.
You don't want to pile it all on one thing, you know what I mean? So little bits just add up.
Yeah.
So that at the end, you probably won't even notice it, but subconsciously you sort of do. It just feels good to you because you're hearing little bits of change and other little artifacts within the track that are good and you change and.
Yeah, it's like that side channel we just put on. Like we've actually taken away, but because it's adding more movement.
Yeah.
And letting that kick come through, it gives it so much more power, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like now we've pointed it out in the track. If you listen to the track, you probably won't notice. But if we point out, just let it play from here, and then this comes in, you'll hear this little sparkly top end come in. Now, it doesn't change the sound a lot, but subconsciously it does.
Oh, yeah, the little pop.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's just like
straight away, it just added that little bit. Now you probably won't even notice that if you were just listening to it, but subconsciously you do.
Yeah.
There, the same with this bit.
It's like adding like a tiny little extra texture.
Yeah, just little bits that build up.
It's like we've. I suppose the reason we've done on the pluck on that second bit is we wanted pure power on the drop.
Pure power on the drop, and then it just picks up as the track it's developing along, and then this section with everything changing, you'll hear it.
The way we might do that is we might have everything, all these blocks are all going at the same time when we first create this drop, and then we'll go, oh, this bit's not needed, and we'll delete that bit out.
And it can add to pick it up, to pick it up, to pick it up, to then build up that crescendo, to then be like,
crescendo.
And then we're back to that then, you know what I mean, and stuff. So I'll just take out that. In fact, no, I won't. I'll
what a crescendo.
That was in the.
I'm starting using these words now, but in the wrong places.
Yeah. So basically, that's the interesting part.
That's what I should have called myself if I was a solo artist. Crescendo.
I'd expect some Japanese, East Asian like DJ to turn up. Crescendo. Hello, Bobby Lee. Hello, crescendo. But yeah, that's the interesting parts of our brand new free download for RBA No Alternative. Our take on it.
Yeah.
It's a free download. That's how we did the synth. There's another video how we did the bass. I'll probably put all this out as a whole, or maybe not, but
We will do.
Yeah, that's
Fuck it.
that's how we did the synth line for the track. So we hope that helps.
Yes.
I'm just thinking, how should we go into? I mean, it's quite a lengthy bit, but I suppose that's sort of how we did it in the program and why we did stuff.
Yeah, let's just cut it off there.
Yeah, that's it. Brilliant.
Just say sayonara from Crescendo.
Sayonara from Crescendo. Okay, now. Sweet.